I'm kind of shocked that Chevy is already offering rebates on the Trail Boss. Yes, you heard that right. There's already rebates available for this truck. I was talking to one of the salespeople here, Leo. You gotta be sure to reach out to him because he's the one that told me this. Now, there's rebates and there's special financing. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you guys pricing with the rebate or just taking the special financing compared to what you can get out in the streets. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker. At the very top is the description. You guys can see the colors. And then here's a short listing of the standard equipment. Base price is $56,900, and here are all the options. So you have the Duramax Trail Boss package, and with that Trail Boss package, you have to get other packages, so it's not just that one price. Safety package is right there, gooseneck and fifth wheel, leather, and then it continues on this side with the convenience package and a few other things down below here. Now on this side, it shows you the destination. And then total price is $79,510. One good thing about this truck is if you don't like the black bumpers on like the other colors, well, if you just get black, then it'll all match. And it does look good. It looks menacing actually. And on the front end, premium lighting on an LT. You have the red recovery hooks, active grille shutters, cameras. So you're gonna have that HD surround view. Parking sensors, which is something new for LT for this model year. And they do black out all the trimming up here, and this trimming down below gets blacked out too. This badge is new for 2025 to be blacked out. You were not able to do this on the previous trucks. And then they have these all blacked out, and this is a new style wheel for the Chevy trucks here. So BFGoodrich tires come a part of the Trail Boss package. You can get them separately. These are the KO3s. You can see it right there. And these are the same size basically as the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runner. So here's the capacity, 3,750 pounds at 80 PSI. And load range E, and in case you didn't know the tire size already, 275/65/20, which is like 34.1 inches tall. They do provide that fabric material for the liner, and there is a engine block heater, Rancho shocks, and let's just go ahead and step all the way back. The nice thing about this LT is it pretty much blacks out all the chrome, smart key system. And here's just a better look at those running boards. You have your steps, and because this is a 3500, here's that suspension. So 5 leaves, with the bottom one being a helper, and then 2 overloads. No liners available for the LT, but if you get an LTZ, I haven't seen one yet. I was told that those would have the liner already there. And you guys can see right here, you have that Trail Boss badge. And this does have the premium LED taillights too. And it's also equipped with the multi-flex tailgate. And then here is the layout of the bed. 400 watts of power, lighting, fifth wheel prep package. And you guys can see they do stamp that Chevy badge right there. There is a camera above for bed view. And you have all your plugs for your fifth wheel and gooseneck trailer. All right. Of course, you have your parking sensors down below. Camera inputs. I've never heard of anyone using those. I need to probably do some videos on that. Maybe I'll order some in the future. If you guys want me to, just let me know. I just don't really see the need to because no one really asked me to do it. And then down below here, they just give you a standard spare tire, 342 rear end with this diesel. It's gonna have an automatic locker, and hopefully you guys can see those tires. They have a great tread pattern. And then here is the truck in the shade. Now this is the optional powertrain. It does come standard with the L8T gas V8. This is the L5P Gen 2 6.6 liter Duramax V8. So this engine is going to put out 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. Yes, it has less horsepower and torque compared to the Ford, and yes, it has less torque compared to the Ram. However, the way that GM tunes this engine is pretty much neck and neck, or just slightly behind the Ford, and it's definitely faster than the Ram. And I think that's in part to the tuning. Like, this truck does have the 12-inch ring gear out back, and I think that GM just does a better job putting the power down. I mean, even when you drive their sports cars, I think GM's has always done a great job putting the power down. It's not about necessarily having the most horsepower and torque, but it really does depend on how that power gets delivered to the ground. And this having the 10-speed, it has deep first, second, and third gears. I think the first gear is like a 454, which is why they use a 342, and they don't give you an option to up that or lower that on these diesels. But with the 10-speed, you don't really need it because the steps are closer, and this has the Denso fuel pump and injector. So that name brand is from Toyota from years and years ago. That was reliable, and I think most people will agree with me there if you've had Toyotas and Lexus in the past. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the best options on the market today. The L5P was already pretty dang good, and they just made it slightly better by updating the turbo and the combustion and a few other components on this engine. Here is the interior for the Trail Boss. If you're used to seeing these trucks, you're probably guessing that it looks the exact same, and that's because they don't make any changes for the interior. So really the only thing you're going to get on this truck that you can't get on the other ones is just the two-tone with the black bumpers if you don't get black. You also get these wheels. These tires come standard, but they are available for all the other trucks. They give you this badging here in black, and of course you get the decal on the side of the bed that says Trail Boss. Apart from that, the Rancho shocks and downhill assist, the automatic locker, all this stuff comes standard. There's no extra lift on this truck, and the interior is basically gonna be the exact same as an LT, or if you get the LTZ Trail Boss, it'll be the exact same as the LTZ. So on this truck, I'm not going to take too much time on the interior because there's not much really more to show. Now let me see if I can show you the animation. Sometimes it comes on, and I didn't show that in the last video, so let's see. There it is. What's so surprising is it just says Z71. So I guess they didn't feel like they needed to show animations for Trail Boss, although I'm pretty sure they have them for the half tons. Someone can actually chime in if you have one. But even though this interior mirrors the LT, it doesn't really matter because it's one of the best. You have a lot of nice features like dual climate control, heated seats. You don't have ventilated seats for LT. You have to go up to an LTZ, push button start, and you have the fully digitized gauge cluster, so you don't have to look at analog gauges. And I personally actually like to have analog for the miles per hour and the RPMs, but you know, not a big deal. Now some of your controls, you still have this. You do not have tow mode, so you have to go outside and pull the mirrors out on both sides if you want to pull your trailer and have the mirrors further out. On this screen here, it's still customizable. I think that most people, if you're coming from a Ford, I think that Ford has the worst system. Their sync system, I just don't like it. I think they need to really rethink it. I still believe that Rams is the best, only because they just do a lot of nice things. Like, you can have two phones connected for like the Apple CarPlay, and on this one you can only have one. But I will say though, this screen is so customizable, and I think it's more user-friendly for people compared to the Rams, in my opinion. I think that more people will find this easier to learn, and it's just easier to set up, I would say, too. So you do have this menu here, you can pull things out, and your camera system. I showed you guys earlier that it had a bed view camera, so I'll show it to you really quickly. Also, actually just use these arrows. They have the best to set up. I think Ram is probably about the same with Ford. Ford is just, their menu goes away and it's just hard to get to the cameras. But yeah, this one is just so much more easier to use. It stays up here. If you want to turn off your 360, it's super easy to do. I just think that when it comes down to GM products, they simplify things for their customers to make it easier. You can't drop the tailgate down. I would skip the multi-flex if it was me, because I like the idea of being able to put it back up. And if you get that tailgate that's back there now, you can't put it back up inside the truck. Exhaust brake is here. You have your lane keep assist alert, and downhill assist is right there. Here's some of your storage, cup holders, armrests. The only downside to the LT and LTZ trims is they do give you the two-tone roof. So of course that's going to be good for the summertime, but it's not going to be as great for the appearance. HomeLink is a part of this package, which is nice. You can slide that rear glass, LED lighting, and if you get an LTZ, you would get lights here. If I have a chance, I'll put this up against an LTZ Trail Boss, so that way you can see an idea of what you're losing. Right there, you have an alert. It's just gonna show on the windshield, but it's not a heads-up display screen as you would get on an LTZ pickup truck. Let's go ahead and check out the payload, and then I'll show you guys the numbers for financing and the rebates. All right. And if you want to see more of this truck, I did one on a white one LT, which is why I'm not going through this entire truck, but you guys can see the numbers here. Gross axle is 5,600 pounds, 7,250 pound gross axle in the rear, 12.1 GVWR, 20 by 8.5 wide wheels, and this truck has actually the same payload as the last truck, I believe, 3,811 pounds. You guys see all the towing numbers. This truck on the curb weighs 8,289 pounds. So you're going to see that number go down on a LTZ. It's going to probably decrease that payload because you're adding on a few more features. Now this is very shocking. For the 2025 Chevy Silverado LT trim with the Trail Boss package, they're putting $1,000 customer cash. I just checked the other LTs. No customer cash. I'm not sure why they're doing that. It doesn't make sense, but here's the first scenario. If you do decide to take the $1,000, I saw with my bank back in Maryland, you can get 5.49 for 60 months. And if you figure taxes, tags, $10,000 down, this is what the interest would be over the course of 60 months. Okay, $11,138. Now, obviously, if you decided to take the special finance, I'm not sure if this is the same for October because I got this footage last month for September. So the interest rates could be different for October. But 60 months at 3.9 is what I saw that you can get last month. For this month, just check with your dealer. So at 3.9, $10,000 down, same scenario here. This is what you'll pay in interest. So obviously, if you do plan on keeping your truck or financing it, it makes more sense to take the special financing because you're going to save a ton of money on interest with that. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you would like for me to do more videos like this, just be sure to leave a comment down below. See you guys soon.